How's it going, everyone, and welcome to this video on Pokémon Legends Arceus and what Pokémon I think will be getting Hisuian variants and new evolutions in these games. So as you know, Pokémon Legends Arceus is only 2 days away and I am extremely excited. As you know, I have spoken about it a lot of times throughout my streams and videos that I am really excited for these games. It's a completely different world of Pokemon, a world that we've seen before but not seen at the same time, and obviously we know there will be some similarities between the world that we've already seen and the new world, which is obviously the Hisui region. So to start off, I think the Zubat line deserves a little bit more love. As you know, Zubat has been in practically every single game, and he's just been that dead Pokemon which you see and you just get annoyed whenever you encounter him.
I'm one of them.
Don't get me wrong, I like Zubat, I love Crobat, I really love the design on it, but it's so annoying when they're just everywhere. If you remember in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they were everywhere in literally every single cave, and eventually they just got boring. So it would be nice if they shed a little bit of new light on Zubat, and the whole line really kind of deserves a little bit more love in that sense. So if you remember from my previous video, I was speaking a lot about the Hisuian Voltorb. Now obviously we know there's going to be an evolution, we know that obviously he will evolve into Electrode, but I mentioned also that Electrode could feasibly get a new evolution, which could be the same typing but based off of the Heavy Ball. As I mentioned in that video, you get, I think it's 20 or 30 Heavy Balls if you pre-order the games. So it would be pretty cool to have some sort of Heavy Ball evolution, and it again sheds new light on Voltorb and gives him a little bit more love and shows that he used to evolve into this Heavy Ball form, but not anymore because he's angry and maybe he needs to have a pure heart or something to evolve into this Heavy Ball variant. Now, you know full well who I'm going to mention next. This guy. 𝗪𝗪𝗪 deserves more love, and I have said this since Gen 7, 𝗪𝗪𝗪 needs more love. He's just a Pokemon that looks like a peanut, and that's it. He's not important in any way, has no story behind it. It's just a peanut looking dragon thing. And it would be nice if it evolved into some sort of dragon, some sort of beautiful, majestic dragon, and I really hope they do something with 𝗪𝗪𝗪 in these games, whether it be a Hisuian variant or even an evolution for it. I just want 𝗪𝗪𝗪 to get more love. So I think another person I think another person that deserves it. Hisuian Nightube. So another Pokemon that I think deserves a Hisuian variant and maybe even an evolution is 𝗓𝗏𝗡𝗃. Now 𝗓𝗏𝗃 is one of those Pokemon which are not very important. I don't see a lot of people using them, especially in battles. It would be nice to have some sort of evolution and maybe even a alternate form at the same time. I don't know in terms of typing what they would make him. I feel like the electric type stands out to me for 𝗓𝗏𝗃, but I don't know what they could do with a Hisuian 𝗓𝗏𝗃. So maybe Corphish. Corphish could feasibly get a alternate form. I feel like Corphish was important at one point and then just kind of become not important. I suppose we could say that about pretty much any other Pokemon in any other region. But I feel like Corphish, obviously being a water type, and I am a water type trainer, I'm even wearing blue to symbolize water. Okay, I just stuck this on in the morning. I didn't wear this for any purpose. But I also feel like Corphish could get a new alternate evolution as well. So instead of him evolving into his regular Pokemon, he would actually evolve into this alternate form in the Hisui region or in the Sinnoh region. So it would be nice for them to implement this into the anime and seeing Ash evolve his Corphish into this new evolution. Now, as you know, I'm a huge fan of Riolu and Lucario. I wouldn't mind seeing a ghost type Lucario. I feel like that is something that could work, especially in the Hisui region. A lot of Pokemon seem to be turning into ghosts because they're all dead. It would be nice to see some sort of Lucario alternate form, but I feel like the ghost type works really well for him. So as you know, I'm a big fan of Gliscor. If you didn't know that, now you know. I'm a big fan of Gliscor, and I have been ever since Generation 4. Obviously Gliscor was quite important in the Generation 4 anime and was very important to me, as I had a Gliscor on my team and managed to beat Cynthia with this Gliscor on my first ever playthrough of Pokemon Pearl, which, if you don't know already, was the first ever Pokemon games I ever played. So it was quite a treat to have my Gliscor beat Cynthia's Garchomp, which, even though it was a not very effective move, I can't remember what move it was, but it was not very effective, and somehow beat Cynthia with a critical hit. So with that, I love Gliscor, and it would be nice to see some light shed on him again. So I would love some sort of alternate form for Gliscor. So I think the next Pokemon that deserves a alternate form is Inkay and the Malamar line. Again, I could see this being maybe a water type or some sort of electric type. I do really like Malamar. Obviously, it is based off of a squid, which I also am a big fan of the Kraken, if you don't know a Kraken.
It's a giant Kraken! There's a place you've gotta be.
You remember that from the Hotel Transylvania films. I love the Kraken just for that reason. Don't ask why, I just love the Hotel Transylvania films, and obviously I love Krakens. So I've always been a fan of Malamar, especially when it was in the Generation 6 games. When I first saw it, I was like, that's a Kraken. I like it. So yeah, I could see them doing something with Malamar in these games. Obviously, Malamar was quite important for some reason. If you remember the first trailer of Pokemon Sword and Shield, they were talking about some of the Pokemon that are returning from previous regions. And they seem to show Inkay about 5 or 6 times in that trailer. And I just feel like that's got some sort of connection to the Hisui region. I don't know why, it's just something that's in my head. And I've been thinking about it ever since the Sword and Shield trailers. As you know, since Generation 6, Gumi hasn't really been that important. I haven't seen a Gumi or Gudra anywhere. Through Sword and Shield, through Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, when they brought back previous Pokemon. I haven't seen Gumi or Gudra anywhere, and it would be nice to get them back at some point, and it would be nice if they did it in these games. Obviously, we know that Gumi, all the way up to Gudra, came from a different region and then found a home, obviously, in the Kalos region. Similar to what I said in my previous video, obviously, with Gumshoos and Yungoos, where they were from a different region. It would be nice that they're back in the games. I feel like they could do the same thing with Gumi and Gudra and give them some sort of alternate form. So as you know, I think there is like 3 or 4 Oricorio forms, which obviously Oricorio was from the Sun and Moon games. It would be nice to get a new form, whether it be, obviously it won't be a Hisuian variant, but maybe a completely new form. I'm feeling for some reason a flying rock type or a flying fighting type for Oricorio. I just feel like it could work. But I don't know what else they could do with Oricorio. I feel like that is literally all they can do now. Obviously, we don't want Oricorio to become the new Eevee, so maybe not, but it's a possibility. I feel like that is something they could do, especially in a region that's obviously older and it's a lot more Stone Age, if you like. So maybe a rock flying type would work really well. And finally, I feel like the answer to what the original forms were of the fossil Pokemon from Generation 8. Now, obviously, you fuse them together and you can get like a ice electric type or whatever from those fossil Pokemon. But we don't actually know what their original forms were. And because they're obviously back in the days that was when their original forms were present, I think this game is pretty much the perfect game to do that in. It just makes sense. It just makes complete sense to me to show off what their original forms were. You know, one would be a pure electric type, one would be a pure ice type, and so on and so forth. I could see them doing that in these games. It would be pretty awesome as well, because I've been asking ever since Generation 8 was announced, and when I first saw them I was like, they look sad, they look like they're in pain. They need help. Go and see a therapist. So yeah, I think that's all I can really say on this matter. They're the only Pokemon I feel like deserve some love, especially in these games and how they can make it work with these games. But maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. I don't know. Maybe we've seen all of the Hisuian variants. Maybe we've seen them all and we just don't know it yet. Maybe we haven't. I don't know. Obviously, as you know, it is leak season, and luckily I've managed to avoid everything. So as you know, everything I've said in this video could be right, could be wrong. Probably more weighing on the wrong side, but still, it could be right. We don't know. We won't know until obviously 2 days from now when the games come out. I'm dead excited. Honestly, I'm so excited for these games, and I hope you are too. And I'd love to see everyone's thoughts on the games when they come out. Obviously, keep leaks away from comments. I would really appreciate that for now, and then when the games come out, you can say whatever you like. You can say, oh yeah, you was right about blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone coming by. Make sure you like and subscribe, turn on those push bell notifications so you never miss a new video or stream from me. Make sure to follow my other socials as well in the description below. We're also raising money for Clapton CFC's Changing Room appeal, so if you want to read up more on that, The link is at the top of the description. That will take you to the donation page, which has all the information on the appeal and what they're trying to do, and what the change room appeal is all about, and more information on Clapton CFC. So with that, everyone, I've been Nate, you've been great, and I'll see you in the next one.